All right, guys, how's it going? Welcome in here, Kurt Magushin, Slaughterhouse Sports. Today we are going to look at Joshua Josephs. He is from Kennesaw, Georgia. He's 6'3", 215 pounds. So, in looking at this guy and looking at Caleb Perry, who's kind of your intangible guy from Georgetown, Kentucky, Tennessee has a certain type. They love wingspan. Josh Heupel, Marcus Banks or Banks, the defensive coordinator, they want wingspan. And the one thing about Tennessee is that they're going to get guys that have some speed. They're going to get guys, they want versatility on the defense. So, the one thing I do worry about is you're going to have to get some, big, nasty guys up front eventually, because I think teams are going to want to run it on Tennessee and kind of keep it away from them. But, you look at this guy and Joshua Josephs, and he has potential. He has potential to be a big-time player. Now, he's really thin, but he, again, has long arms and he has twitchiness. So Tennessee is banking on their strength and conditioning staff, to get him into the facility, and again get Josh Josephs to be, even stronger. So his body type and what's going to need to happen is, he is a linebacker and an edge rusher that has really great speed, and he does have long arms, so he can be really, really efficient and effective. But, this is a hit that, eventually, a bigger guy would just absolutely just drive this right to the ground. Now, he is, an aggressive player. He's going to need to be aggressive if he's going to be really, really effective at the University of Tennessee. Same with a Caleb Perry, for example, who I'm also going to talk about. They got Robinson for the 23 class, and defense is very, very important. Now maybe there's some defensive players that, they look at Tennessee and they just think it's all offense with Josh Heupel, and, how Josh Heupel can really be a great offensive mind. But, the one thing I'm going to say about Caleb Perry about Joshua Josephs is Josh Josephs is unbelievable versatility-wise, meaning here he is in coverage. He's really like a linebacker. So, they list him as a defensive lineman. I think he's more of a coverage linebacker. Because I think, again, you're going to have to get some huge nose tackles in this class, and I'm going to have to review the entire class. But I'm telling you, you got to get big guys up front. Even if you play 3-4. So the way you're going to utilize this guy is, again, you're going to have big guys, so he's free to not take on blocks because he has long arms. He's like a K'Lavon Chaisson, sort of linebacker. He's very fast. You're going to have to utilize him. You're going to have to utilize him on defense in terms of, him blitzing and playing free. And again, you are banking on him in a couple of years being just absolutely incredible. I don't know if he could play, as a freshman or even as a sophomore. I hope that, Josh Josephs proves me wrong. I'm just reviewing his tape here. He looks a little thin for the SEC at this stage. It really depends, but I'm telling you that the potential, though, is through the roof. The potential is great with a kid like this, because what do you see here with Josh Josephs is you see long arms, and you see some twitchiness. You see some speed. You see a great ability to cover running backs. You see an explosive play potential with causing tackles for loss, but also coverage. He has a lot of coverage skills, and those long arms are really going to be annoying for offenses. And let's see that play. There, they stun him really well. He chases and he makes a play. So, he has pretty good lateral speed. So, a play like that is massively, massively impressive. Okay, his bend's going to have to be, he's going to even have to work on playing lower, because I want to see him have a lot of bend to be able to get after a quarterback. Because here, if you don't block him, his closing speed is wow. That is eye-opening, I will tell you. James Pierce looks like a phenomenal player from Charlotte, who, was down to South Carolina and Tennessee. Tell you right there, though, he showed a nice aggressive streak on this quarterback. He absolutely took that quarterback down. That was a big-time play. That was awesome. This is incredible. This is really, really good, though, as a linebacker. I mean, his ability to cover. So, I mean, man, I have to admit, these last couple of plays have got me changing my tune a little bit on when this kid can see the field, because he's great in coverage. Great in coverage. If you're an offensive guy, you want to run it at a guy like Josh Joseph, and wear him down. You want to get your guards on a guy like him. But put it this way, like he is so athletic covering, and Caleb Perry, that's what they think too. You don't want to use the word tweener, but at the same time, it's like the guy, like Caleb Perry can either be a safety or a linebacker. This guy could be, this guy could play on the defensive line. He can also play as a linebacker. So they want versatile, long defenders. That's what Tennessee's looking for. And listen, if they have to give up bulk in some areas, they're going to do that. Now, will Tennessee have the bulk up front with guys like this so that you can play free and make very efficient plays? Because you're going to, again, have to stop the run. That's going to have to be crucial to last, a whole 12-game season. But it's up to your strength and conditioning staff. You have to, put these guys on right weight, and he can make plays. So Josh Josephs is fascinating how the career is going to play out at Tennessee, because he could sliver around. He can make a ton of plays. He can really guard. He can guard your receiver. He can pick up wheel routes really effectively. He's pretty damn aggressive. So, his closing speed is excellent, and his arm length is really going to be quite helpful in terms of the closing speed ability. So, it's a fascinating study. Makes a great interception there. It's an exciting guy to get on your defense. Tennessee's going to have to win with defense as well. And that's going to be the biggest challenge for Josh Heupel, is defense. It hasn't really been offense. It's defense. It's winning ball games. So, again, we see the strengths. And the weakness would be, like, what position? Is he going to play linebacker, going to play outside linebacker? Again, he's going to have to put on some size. He's going to have to play at, like, right now he's 215. You want to see him be 240. And again, I think that'll come with years of experience. So that's what Tennessee is thinking, like, hey, in 2 years, this guy's going to be absolutely ready to go, and he's going to be an elite style linebacker. And the potential, right, if he fills out, can withstand some hits in the SEC, if he can withstand physicality, and offensive linemen are bigger than they are. They're not as big as they used to. It seems like they're slender linemen. If he can hold up with physicality in the SEC, he's gonna be great. In coverage on third down, you put him on the field to stop your running backs. You put him on special teams immediately to cover punts with his speed and his length. So coverage skills, he's excellent. That's the strength of his game. Closing speed, great closing speed. It's just that you're going to have to get him untouched in order for him to make plays.